Thank you for your interest in the Fairfax County Human Services Needs Assessment. Fairfax County is a great place to live with strong schools, vibrant communities, and excellent businesses. However, we know that Fairfax has changed dramatically over the past few decades as it has matured. Understanding these changes and preparing for the future is critical so that all residents enjoy a high quality of life. A critical component in planning for the future is looking at the challenges that currently face our residents so that we can build a stronger and more equitable path for tomorrow. Let's take a closer look at some of the significant transitions that Fairfax County has undergone and how these changes are affecting our residents. Then we will highlight ways in which we can build a stronger community for every resident. Since the 1950s, Fairfax County has changed dramatically, growing from a small suburban community to a vibrant, highly dense area. Changes over the last few decades have occurred across three broad areas: our population, our economy, and the county's infrastructure, or our housing and transportation systems. Although these changes are significant by themselves, collectively, they are having a profound effect on our county. Let's examine a few of these changes. What do we know about changes to our population? With more than 1.1 million people, the population of Fairfax County is projected to continue increasing. The county has also become more racially and ethnically diverse. Another key trend is the overall aging of our population. Due to the aging of the baby boomer generation, the proportion of our population comprised of older adults continues to increase. Like the demographics of our county, our local economy has also changed. In general, we have lost purchasing power over the last decade, and wages have not kept pace with inflation. Let's take a look at an example. In 2005, the average full-time worker earned approximately $64,000. By 2014, this same worker should have made approximately $80,000. Instead, the worker made approximately $73,000. Importantly, recent job growth has not been equal among low, middle, and high-wage jobs. The same type of jobs that were lost in the recession have not necessarily returned to Fairfax County. We've seen job growth in low-wage sectors and high-wage sectors, but fewer middle-wage jobs. Despite the overall high household income level in Fairfax County, many of our residents live in or near poverty. In 2014, approximately 180,000 residents were living at or below 200% of the federal standard of poverty, equating to approximately $48,000 for a family of four. Many households living at this income level or less face severe financial burdens and have difficulty affording basic necessities. Child poverty is also an important issue in our county, as child poverty rates are consistently higher than the overall rate for Fairfax County. More than 23,000 children were living in poverty in 2014. What about changes in the county's housing and transportation systems? Due to growth within the county, the type and location of housing and transportation systems have evolved to support the changing population and demand. As our county has matured, we have seen a shift from single-family detached homes to attached multifamily units. Fairfax County has a relatively high cost of housing, which not only affects some homeowners, but also renters. From 2005 to 2014, average monthly rent increased by 36% in Fairfax County. In addition, the number of people who rent continues to increase. Population growth in Fairfax County has also impacted transportation. With more people living in the county and with employment opportunities more geographically dispersed than in the past, it is increasingly important for all residents to be able to easily travel within Fairfax County. Transportation is also costly, regardless of mode. The high cost can have a disproportionate impact on low-income households in our county who may have to spend a larger proportion of their household budget on commuting. So what does all this mean? What are some of the specific challenges that our residents face? All of these changes in the population, economy, and infrastructure are important because they are driving human services needs around housing, economic self-sufficiency, health, and connections to resources. It is the collective effort of these changes which are driving needs in a new direction. Let's take a closer look at some of the needs, starting with housing. Affordable housing is a key issue in Fairfax County. From 2005 to 2014, a little under half of all renters in the county spent more than 1/3 of their income on housing. Spending more than 1/3 of income on housing can limit a person's ability to afford other items such as food, clothing, and health care. A related issue is the need for more accessible housing that is affordable to all residents. There is also a growing need for support services that help individuals live in their residence of choice. As the county's population continues to age, needs around accessible housing and support services will most likely continue to increase. We also want residents to be economically self-sufficient and be able to consistently meet their basic needs. With the slow economic recovery since the recession, many more individuals are now seeking some type of assistance to make ends meet. The county has seen a steady rise in the number of individuals receiving assistance for health insurance, food, and cash. Childcare can also be very expensive for some families and is typically the second largest expense after housing. Early childhood education programs are also important because they support the cognitive and social emotional development of children. Every child in the county should be able to access affordable, high-quality early education programs. Health, including physical and behavioral health, is a critical component to the overall strength of our county. Many health needs cut across socioeconomic and demographic boundaries, affecting all residents. Insurance can play an important part in helping individuals access health services. In 2014, Fairfax County had over 30,000 low-income adults between the ages of 18 to 64 who did not have health insurance. Various types of behavioral health services are available throughout the county. However, many residents have difficulties accessing these services due to cost, location, and transportation issues. Language, stigma, and cultural differences also create barriers for some residents in obtaining services. Domestic violence is another critical issue in the county, affecting 1 in 4 homes. It is the leading cause of homicide in Fairfax County. The demand for services to assist residents affected by domestic violence remains high. Our jurisdiction does not have an adequate number of emergency shelter beds. The need for affordable and accessible transportation options remains a critical issue in Fairfax. For individuals with disabilities and older adults in particular, this resource is critical to helping them remain connected and active in their community. There are also challenges for individuals locating and accessing services, both within private and public organizations. Although the vast majority of information is now communicated through the internet or social media, some residents do not have internet access. This is particularly true for low-income households that include an older adult and low-income households that include a child. So, what does all this mean for Fairfax County? Our community is under stress and strain. We know that the breadth and complexity of needs are impacting a greater number of people. The challenges that residents face cut across boundaries, no longer solely determined by income, race, ethnicity, or age. The notion that human services only provide a critical safety net to the very poor is a fading concept. And while the challenges do not affect every household, there is a ripple effect as issues grow and become more complex. We know that government alone cannot solve these challenges. These issues will take the collective effort of everyone in our county, government, residents, schools, nonprofits, and more. It is through working together that we will be able to build the future that we want for all residents. But where do we start? What can you do to help turn words into action? Educate. Take time to understand the challenges that face our residents and share this information with your friends, co-workers, and others to increase awareness. Talk to organizations that you touch every day, such as a nonprofit, a school, a house of worship, or a local business. Educating and building awareness is a key step in helping to spur community action to address these challenges. Give back. Fairfax is a county rich in resources. Help continue this tradition by giving back to your community through your time, expertise, and voice. Giving back is not necessarily about money. There are many ways to contribute, such as undertaking a local project, joining a community group, or volunteering. Collaborate. There are many ways, both as a resident or as an organization, that we can work together and build off our collective resources and knowledge. For example, you can identify and develop new partnerships that address needs. Continue to strengthen existing partnerships between the private and public sectors, and share information, expertise, and resources through social media and other tools to collectively build solutions. Plan. Organizations in both the public and private sector can use information about community needs to help guide organizational planning, evaluate investment decisions, and modify policies and practices to better serve residents and address needs. Fairfax County has long been regarded as a great place to live with a healthy economy, attractive infrastructure, and a place of opportunity. To ensure the success of all residents, we must work together to examine our current efforts and find innovative ways to invest and move forward. The future of Fairfax County depends on it. For more information on the path toward tomorrow, the 2016 Fairfax County Human Services Needs Assessment, please go to the website.